I got us tickets. Everyone will be there.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
so excited to talk to you.
So great to be here. I love the pin.
Thank
I love the
you.
logo. It's so fun.
Thank you. So, why do you think that fans should experience Wicked in IMAX?
This movie, of any movie, you've got to see on the biggest screen possible, with the loudest speakers possible. You got to see it with a big group. So IMAX is the perfect venue to do that. We wanted to make a giant spectacle of epic cinematic proportions. And of course, IMAX allows you to have that giant canvas to experience that. I love that. Guaranteed you're going to have great sound, great picture. You're going to see the details in the shadows, which we like to play in the shadows a lot in this movie. We like to play a lot in the highlights. And I was able to get that dynamics in the IMAX system. And of course, I just there's a guaranteed quality of seeing that.
Absolutely. And when adapting Wicked for the big screen, how did you stay true to the source material while also putting your own twist on things?
Well, I'm a big fan of the source material itself, not just of The Wizard of Oz, the book from L. Frank Baum, of course the 39 movie, of course all the different versions that came in between from The Wiz to Return to Oz, all that stuff. But Wicked, the musical itself, I mean, I fell in love with that musical when I first saw it before it went on to Broadway. And I already saw the movie when I sat down there. I felt it. Even if theater doesn't allow you to go into close-ups and to go into those things, I could feel it in the lyrics. I could feel it in the performance of Kristen and Adina. And I just never knew that I would be the one they'd asked to do this 20-something years later. So it just felt very natural for me. Of course, I knew the areas to protect. Those are Bible moments. I also knew the areas that I wish there was more time for. And so this movie allowed us to have the time to get to know these characters just a little bit more so we could really root for them throughout.
I genuinely think this was the best musical to film adaptation I've ever seen, and I don't say that lightly.
It was really important for us to stay true. Like, we knew this had never been shot on stage before. This had never been an animated movie. This had never been already a remake of some sort. This was the first crystallized version of Wicked. We did not want to go off to left field somewhere. Like, we wanted to make it the thing that you remember, but blossom it, because we've all grown up as well, and we're in a different time.
So this is kind of a loaded question, but what was your favorite musical number to film?
Oh, that's very loaded. I cannot pick one, but I will say the most complicated were All Hands Were on Deck. I mean, most of them, all hands were on deck. From Dancing Through Life, the spinning tornado wheel. I mean, the Ozdust itself, when she comes in and it's basically in silence, and Cynthia has to find her own movement to make space for herself and not be a joke. This is not a joke dancing. This is her actually like almost putting on her scarlet letter and accepting who she is. And then Glinda coming in to be in that same vulnerable spot with the. To me, that was the scariest because there was no roadmap for that. That was going to come organically from the girls themselves, from our choreographer Chris, to find the language that we were going to speak. And there was nothing I could dictate. There's nothing I could design for that. But I'm so proud that we got to do that. But of course, Defying Gravity is like the technical, most difficult one to do. Everyone, stunts, special effects, Cynthia, Ariana, Michelle Yeoh, special effects, VFX, everything had to be, and live singing all on top of that. And then popular. I mean, that's one of the most famous things of all time, and we had to figure out how to expand it. And the gadgets that unfold for her is so fun. And what we didn't want is the gadgets to overshadow their interplay. And so finding that fine line, that was really with Cynthia and Ari and our special effects people who are building all that stuff, to find that fine line where we could still have fun, but make it delightful.
Aside from Wicked,
Yes.
if you could see any musical
Yes.
in IMAX, what would you choose?
Any musical in IMAX, what would I see? I mean, one day I would love to see Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in IMAX, because I think the scope of that would be grand and so fun to see with a huge audience. So you never know. You never know what's going to happen.